Good evening, everybody. It's Matrix here, chat room moderator of BRT, and today we're going to do a really quick trade recap and perhaps a little quick lesson on shorting the backside and identifying the backside of a stock. Before we start, I like to put the disclaimer out there that I am not a professional financial advisor. Everything you watch or about to be watching in this video is strictly of my opinion, and I will not be liable for your losses for the information that you decide to use from this video. So let's get on with it. Today I took a short trade on AMRN, and basically I was looking for the backside of the move. Now this lesson or this little video is more on the teaching you how to identify the backside of the move. Basically, a stock, when it runs or throughout the day, a stock has two sides of a move, either the front side or the back side. And what the front side is the initial trend that the stock starts on. And that's usually when there is a lot of volume. And once that trend breaks and the momentum of the initial trend shifts, it then turns into the backside of the move. Okay, so AMRN, last night I called this stock for a long, saying that my reasons behind it was, although very overextended, the stock closed well, and because of how much percentage it gained last night, basically 300 and something percent, I was thinking that a lot of shorts are looking at this in the morning and they will probably be stubborn and start piling in. All right, so I called for a long. I was in my watch list, I called for a bounce at 12 to 1250 mark, and basically that's where it happened. So let's take a look at it today. Here we are at the open. 9:30 bell. The stock basically opened here, dumped first candle and started, held the 12 and ran. All right, I missed this initial spike. I watched this thing dump right at the 13, so we're gonna mark 13 off, which is a key psychological whole number. I watched it dump. I still hesitated to take it because by then I did not have this trend line drawn out. All right, so the stock dumped and I was just watching it. So let's move the chart along a little bit here. As it dumped, knowing that I missed my trade, my plan was to long. I basically just sat and watched, right? So as the stock came back up, I started plotting this trend line. So it ran up, it dumped, it popped again, and I started plotting this trend line. So let's plot that out. Ooh, long. Extend it a little bit more. So what this is, essentially this trend line actually represents the front side of the move and the initial trend. Look at how clear it bounced off the trend line here. So it ran up, bounced here first time. Stop moving. Okay, so it bounced off here, connected at the low here. It dumped again and dipped, held that trend, dipped again, held that trend, dipped again, held that trend, and I was watching this all the way. I was basically watching this whole move up. So let's pull in my trades here real quick. Here it is. First trade took on 400 shares at 1132. Okay. So I already marked that off. 1132. Zoom in a little bit. Right here. So I took my first short here. So we were watching this trend, right? And last night on the nightly watch list, I called for the stock to squeeze all the way up to at least 15 because an analyst came out with a buy rating and targeted 15. Okay, so I called for the short squeeze to go to 15 before the first dump, but as the stock ran, it basically broke out over the 1450s area. So let's pull that in. It broke out, and once this broke and held a little bit, I'm thinking, okay, this is probably yet another dip, and I'll wait until 15. But as it came back up here and dumps again at the 1450, I'm thinking, oh, wow, it's a psychological mark. It might not have what it takes to get back up to the 15. Look at the volume on this candle here, though, right? So we have massive volume compared to the previous volume. And then as it tried again, it tapped out once again, and again, massive volume on the sell-off. I'm thinking, okay, the backside is near. Look at the time, 11:30, volume is about to die. As I watch this thing run up, it hit the 1450 mark again. It cannot get through. So I was thinking, okay, we still have this major trend going on, so, and it's still holding. So it's not really the backside of the move left. There is still a potential for it to break out. And if it gets past this, it could run again to 15. But I could, however, take a short for a scalp. And my plan here was to take the first scalp to a dip back down to either the trend line or the 50 EMA. So I took the short here, and basically it came right back down to the 50 EMA, and I paid myself a majority. Watch it bounce back up here. I closed it out because my average was right about this area, right? I took this trade right as this red candle breaks the previous green candle's low. So I shorted here. Okay, so that was my first trade. And then once I got that trade in, I was still watching for the backside of the move, and I was still watching this trend line as I was extending it. Okay. I was watching this 1450 area as well. I saw the stock come back up and the next candle unable to break through. So I'm thinking, okay, unable to break through, lower volume, this might be it. So I was watching it some more, making sure to confirm. Eventually, I took the short. I took the short right here at this candle. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. And the reason why I took this short here at this candle is because I saw how this 1450s was topping out, and my risk was basically 1450s. So knowing that the stock has not broke its initial trend yet, I'm still very careful, and my risk was very tight with knowing that if the stock broke out and above the 1450s again, it could essentially squeeze some more and run to the 15. So my stop was very clear and concise, nice and tight. I took this short here right as it broke the previous green candle's low, okay, and basically rode it and paid myself on this dump at the same time. So I shorted here, paid myself here, and watched it go make a lower high. At this lower high, though, this is when ideas starts. I held, and just waited until this snap move, bounced back up, tested again, and it snaps. This major trend is now snapped, and I was no longer worried. Okay, so basically, this is when the backside happened. I want you guys to note the time, 12 o'clock sharp, lunchtime, volume slow, and from here, my target was the VWAP, okay? Because the 50 EMA is already here and it snapped. So my next target was the VWAP. As the stock came down here, so I was watching this, so I basically covered on this big wash right at the $14 mark because previously it broke out the 14. I covered some here, held. When this candle shot back up and failed the 50 EMA here, it basically confirmed it. It confirmed that it's the backside of the move, right? We know this snap is the initiation of the backside. When this popped back up and failed, it confirmed it. I added back in whatever I took off on this candle. As it came back down, I took some profits here because I saw how this was basing a little bit. So I took a little bit back and let the rest ride. And my target, of course, VWAP right here. This is where I got out. So taking a look, I basically wrote this thing from here all the way down to here. And, even more. Here all the way down to here. This is one of my covers. Okay, so I basically took this thing from here all the way down to here, and I was done with it. Of course, in hindsight, 50-50, I could have just held and wait until the VWAP snaps, right? And had I held and wait until the VWAP snaps, I saw this come back up, I would have paid myself here anyways, right? So it's kind of like the same. So this came back up and the stock later on just dumped. Okay, so the lesson is I didn't really have to cover here, but I would have covered here anyways. The 14 mark I already marked off. It showed that it failed. So when it came back up here and started rolling over, somebody, or maybe even me, by this time I was already out to lunch. I walked away from the computer, but you could have reshorted here as well, risking the 14 area, okay, and wrote this thing all the way down. So I hope this video helped, and I hope this explains how the backside works. Basically, once the stock snapped this major trend, it never looked back. So let's take a look at the bigger picture here. This downtrend. And then some more downtrend here. And some more here, right? So basically, once this major trend line snapped, it was the backside initiation, and this bounce up to the 14 confirmed it. It no longer can get back up. The volume is done. It's lunchtime. Everybody's out, and this is what happened. All right. You guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the link, like, share, and subscribe. If you have any other questions about this video, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. This is just one of the many types of shorts that I take in BRT on a daily basis. If you want a more in-depth, because there is a lot more psychology behind this, why I took this short. If you want a little bit more in-depth about this, or watch us trade live in BRT, there's a link in the video description box below. Make sure you hit that link. We have a coupon code. It's only $30 a month, and the coupon code, if you sign up for a year subscription, it's even cheaper, and the coupon code is 49 off. All right, so I'll hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Cheers.